So we brought a special guest today.
Yes. Because, we know you all came for us, but...
Here's some roast swan for everyone, Jennifer Morrison.
Jen, I know you're one of the biggest fans of season 3. Why is that?
Obviously I signed on from the beginning because I was obsessed with these two and their writing. So I've loved every season, but I feel like season 3 we get to go so much deeper emotionally, and having all of the main characters back together for a while has been so fun for us. We've just really enjoyed being with each other. We've enjoyed all of the traumatic experiences that these guys are putting us through. So it's, I just feel like it's been a really strong season in terms of a lot of things that we've built up to paying off.
Adam and Eddie, do you find that season 3 has, as a result, been a little bit easier to write because you have so much history to play off?
No.
I wish it were.
I mean, it's every season and every episode is a challenge because we're trying to continually deepen and strengthen and top what we've done before.
Yeah, you're always trying to make the new episode better than the one that you just saw.
I mean, it's only easier in as much as we know we have a cast like this who we can rely on to
make
be
us
awesome
look better
and all that, but it hasn't gotten any easier.
One of the things I like, to Jen's point, is, Emma is so fully realized now. She's this protective mama bear, and she's got a sword.
Yeah.
So that's just a lot of fun.
Oh, when Emma's in the tank top, it means action. that is once code. When the tank top's on, there's action to be had.
Are you happy that you got the most practical wardrobe for Neverland?
Yes, well, I definitely have learned from seasons past to think ahead about these things. And I had a feeling after spending 9 episodes in Fairy Tale Land last year in the same outfit, which I'm not sure how smelly I must have been by the end of that, that I would think ahead for the possibility of a similar situation this year. So.
That's literally, if you watch the finale last year, every actor gets on the ship with like a backpack because they were trying to outsmart us. Yeah. And they were like, these are our wardrobes, so we have coats when it gets cold. And we're like, well, then we'll just send a fleet of mermaids to destroy them. We'll see who wins this.
My black sweater is in Mary Margaret's backpack because it gets really cold.
Yeah, she has a plausible wardrobe change.
Yeah.
Adam and Eddie, talk about the decision to have Rumpel kind of on his own on Neverland.
Well, for us, we thought Rumpelstiltskin is many things, but a team player is not one of them. So he never said he would work with them. He was not looking for a kumbaya moment. He said he would go to his death to save Henry, and he felt that it was probably better to do it alone. Will there be any other splintering of the group along the way? I mean,
yeah, I
imagine Regina's tolerance only goes so far.
I mean, I think you got a taste of Regina's tolerance in that clip we just showed, and I think that tolerance will wear thin, as will the tolerance of Emma and Mary Margaret and David. I think that it's, what Emma said in the premiere is true. Everybody has got to be themselves, and you're seeing the evil queen being the evil queen, and heroes being heroes, and pirates being pirates, and at some point that's going to reach a boiling point.
We were on the set last week in Vancouver, and Emily DeRobin said that she was shooting some scenes in Storybook.
Yes.
What can you say about that?
We will be going back and showing you in episode 7, we will show you the moment of what happened when the ship went through a portal and we stay in Storybrooke and we enact Emily is tasked with enacting the curse to protect the town. And
yeah, so we're going to fill in all the blanks of what's been going on with our characters back there in the time that we're in Neverland.
Coming off the final scene of episode 2, what drama is going to ooze from that nasty dream shade wound that Charming's got?
Well, he is going to have to be fighting with the reality that he, from now on, is poisoned, and there really is no cure for the dream shade. So, he is always a hero, but right now the mission is saving his grandson. So he is going to have to, I think that what's great about the next few episodes is you're going to really see why Prince Charming is so charming.
Josh Dallas told us that as a result of the early symptoms, Charming might start acting a little differently.
I hope not. He's so good.
Yeah.
He's going to have to deal with. It's going to be a big burden, not just physically but mentally, and how that affects his relationships with everyone around him. So
It's a true test of his strength, and I think we're going to really see how strong he is as a human in the next few episodes.
Now, the two of you and the cast, they've been raving about Robbie Kay as Peter Pan.
Yeah.
yes.
Jen, what's it like to have this teenager get up on your grill?
He's great. He really is. I mean, honestly, we all talked about that before, going, oh my gosh, if this is going to be the villain of all villains, this is going to have to be one heck of a 17-year-old actor. And he's awesome. We all have a great time with him. He's a really, really smart kid. And
frightened
he's
of
been
him,
a
to be
great-
honest.
He's been a great addition. What?
We're frightened of him. We don't even talk to him.
Well,
He
it
scares
was,
us.
we had a premiere party last week in Vancouver 2 weeks ago, and it was actually the first time I had met him in person up there, and it was, on the little line for snacks, and I literally turned, and my instinct was to run away when I saw him, and he was like, I think he was insulted, so then I had to come back and tell him I wasn't afraid of him, just his performance, which is as it should be.
Jen, with no disrespect to your TV son, why doesn't Pan just take what he needs from him and dispatch with the boy?
Oh, well, then there would be no story.
No, Pan's,
Well, to be honest, though, and I won't say exactly what because
Yeah.
we build to it, but there's definitely a reason for that.
There is a reason, and you will see more in this episode, actually, why Pan has not just reached in and ripped out the heart of the truest believer. And so by the end of tomorrow night, you'll know a lot more about what Pan has in store for Henry.
Yeah, and it was our intention to not create a villain who's just out for murder or world domination. We're trying to create with Pan someone with a more complicated agenda, and that starts to become, I think, more and more clear as these episodes continue.
I would say that Peter Pan may be one of our nastiest villains and most complicated villains that you will see. And as you know, we're airing 11 straight this year. And by the end of it, you will understand why I just made that comment.
Everybody here saw episode 2 last Sunday, right? Guys, there was a scene last week where there was a very conspicuous deer walking in the background of the scene. Bambi?
Yeah,
Absolutely,
of
Bambi.
course it was Bambi.
By the way, that was an accident too, wasn't it? We did not hire
I
that
wasn't
deer.
there.
No,
The deer was totally in the background. I was waiting for it to have a line.
in seriousness, it was Bambi literally wandered onto our set, while we were shooting.
We cannot afford that shot to actually get a trained deer to come walk, and I think we shoot so far into the forest that it came, and the director was like, "Shoot it,
This is.
production value."
We also had a day where we got a memo warning us about a bear sighting on set.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
awesome.
only on this show would you get a memo. You get an email at 2 in the morning, memo, just be warned that there's been a bear sighting where you're working tomorrow.
Yeah. And now it won't come out of its trailer.
Jen, do you have a favorite episode this season?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, it's always fun when you get to kiss someone.
I wonder who that'll be.
Well, along the lines on that topic, I gotta ask. Hook's been flirting up a storm. I know Emma's dealing with Neela's loss. I know Emma's focused on finding Henry. Are we going to see any other flirting, any developments on that Hook and Emma front?
It's complicated. Hook has definitely been surprising Emma, I feel like.
He's working overtime for her.
He is working overtime.
Yeah. Those pirate charms.
But, Emma's very, obviously, just focused on trying to get Henry. She's really not wanting to be distracted from the fact that she wants to do whatever it takes to save Henry and to have him back in her life. And so I think there's a lot coming at her that she's not paying very close attention to. But she is pleasantly surprised by the fact that he does seem to really be working to help, that he's genuinely invested, and that we're in a land where everything makes no sense to Emma, once again. and she's learning as she goes, as always. And he's someone who's lived there for a long time and can be a true help, and it's proven himself to be a true help to her. So
we're also, you know, episode 5, we're going to find out how he became a pirate. So we're going to learn a lot more about Killian Jones.
Adam and Eddie, is there any reason that once Neil ultimately makes his way to Neverland, that it's not just some obstacle-free happy reunion and there's actually no triangle to play here?
No, here's the thing. I mean, it's like if and when Neil and Emma find each other again, it's not as simple as running into each other's arms. It's there is a very complicated history between those two.
They're the things you say to somebody as they're about to die and fall through a portal, and then they're the things you say when things have calmed down and you actually have a chance to talk.
Right, and you have to realize what really came before in that relationship, and all that stuff will have to be dealt with.
yeah, it doesn't eliminate 10 years of her being heartbroken over him and feeling like he had rejected her, and not just rejected her, but left her to be, or set her up to be arrested. All the things that she thinks happened are deeply, deeply wounding. And so even though she now knows that they're not true, she spent 10 years believing them, so she has to, she has to sort of re-understand her own history a little bit.
Neverland, you know, because it's a place where you don't grow old, it kind of forces you to confront your past. And I think you're going to see in these episodes in Neverland, all the characters are going to have to confront their past. Tonight, Regina is going to have to confront a very complicated past with Tinkerbell, where Tinkerbell, you will see tomorrow night, is telling Regina that, you know, Daniel was one thing, but maybe it's time to move on, and I can help you find someone out there you will love. And by the end of tomorrow night, you will find out who is right for Regina.
We talk about the different relationships on the show, you know, Emma Hook, Emma Neal, Rumpel, Bell. Do you keep in mind all the different couples that the fans are shipping and ever write to that?
Here's the thing, like the biggest issue I have is nobody is shipping Kitswitz.
Not one.
Like, nobody. It's just, yay! No, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, look, you know, we write the show and we put it out there, but it's your show. Like, it belongs to everybody in this room and everybody who watches it, and you know, we love, you know, all the Captain Swans and the Neil Fires and the Swan Queens and everything. It's like, they're all, you know, important parts of our fandom and important parts of what the show is.
I love it. I mean, you know, I get asked, there's 3 that I get asked about the most in terms of ships. I get asked about Swan Queen. Yeah! I get asked about Captain Swan, and I get asked about Swanfire.
Oddly, no swan whale. I don't know.
Not sure how that didn't develop.
Yeah.
But what I would say about all of them is that I just think they're all awesome. I think every combination of putting the characters together is awesome because we're doing a show about fairy tales, which is about self-discovery, it's about identity. And if you guys are watching the show and seeing yourselves in it and projecting yourself into it and projecting what you wish for onto it, then great, that's awesome. Like, I feel like then we're doing our job. That warms my heart and makes me so happy. You know, and so that's where I stand on all of that.
I mean, as Adam said, the show really is for you, and we love the fan art. We love when you guys, we bring them into the writer's room, the posters that people create and they send on the internet, like, it makes their way to us, and we love it.
There may be a Frankenwolf poster in our office.
There is a Frankenwolf poster in our office. The Neverland photos you guys did. We love it and we encourage it, and this show is, you know, it is for believers and people, and if you're creative, like, keep doing it. Send us your stuff.
Yeah, look, we may write it, but it's your show.
Yeah.
So, it's,
so take it. It's yours now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to bang through a couple of TV line reader questions, then we're going to open it up to audience questions for a few minutes. Number 1, Aliana wants to know, will we find out who wrote the book that Henry totes around?
Someday.
Yes. That's in our plans.
Amber wants to know, will we see Regina teaching Emma magic?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jen, have you had any new magic scenes this season?
I have had some new magic scenes. I am becoming very magical.
Yeah,
I know what that means.
And Lola wants to know, once our heroes make it back to Storybook, will any time have passed, or is it going to be like, oh, you just left 5 minutes ago?
First, if, and then,
If.
and yes, time will have passed.
Yes, you will see that we will absolutely show you the moment when they left and what happened in the immediate aftermath of that. But you'll also realize that when we do show you Storybrooke, 5 days have passed.
Right, and we do on that front want to show you what's happened to Archie and Granny and the dwarves and all and Lou, and all the people left behind.
All right, so Neverland's 11 episodes, but it's 5 days.
Well, when we get to Storybrooke, it's only been 5
probably
days, but
covers-
the journey continues.
There we go. Okay. All right, audience questions. Let's start at the mic on this side.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Quick question. When we opened, or when you guys opened up the season, you showed that Neil had fallen back into the forest with Mulan and Sleeping Beauty and Prince Philip. How did Prince Philip come back? And are we going to see that episode?
That's a great question.
Prince Philip was returned from the Wraith, if we remember last year. Cora let Aurora know that it can be done, and will we see that not in the first 11, but we are definitely going to be having an interesting scene tomorrow night between Mulan and Aurora.
Okay, thank you.
Over here.
Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Adam. Over here.
Hey.
My question is, if you had the chance to take one episode and change it all around from what it is, which one would it be?
From what show?
Well, Once Upon a Time, of course.
What would we change? If
What
there's an
would be
episode,
one
would I go back and
episode?
change?
One episode that you could change around.
I don't, here's the thing is that, when we sit down to do it, you do what you feel at the time and what you think is best, and, you don't want to look back and say, oh, I wish I could change that, because the show keeps moving forward.
And they're all interconnected, so it's the process of making them is such that, like, if there were anything we wanted to change, it would have a domino effect on everything that came after. So it's, flaws and all, like, I think we stand by each one that we've made.
And, a lot of times there's a scene and you're like, I wonder what that is. And then 3 episodes later, it becomes something that you're like, oh, that was awesome. But it would never have been that awesome if we didn't set it up 3 episodes earlier.
So as far as regrets, you don't have your Jack Shepherd finds out about his tattoos episode yet?
Well, we're proud of what we've done. And, rock and roll is a messy business.
And one more thing, I don't like the Regina wanna be the Red Queen.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, everyone. That is the support I usually look forward to on the blog Sunday night.
Going back to this side?
It doesn't
Hi.
make me cry.
Welcome to New York ComicCon for one.
Thank you.
So given that we are currently in Neverland and Wonderland side by side, it brings me back to my childhood. I am an avid Disney lover, and originally before Wonderland series was created, I always wondered, would you guys introduce other Disney characters? Because as, ironically with the Bambi thing, we've noticed that Cricket has Pongo, but we never even enter 101 Dalmatians. So my question is, now that we have a side-by-side series, do you guys intend on introducing characters that in movies we haven't done, or would you put them in the series for that one, introduce them like you did with Jafar? We didn't see it in Once Upon a Time, but now we have him in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
We'll definitely have, there are many characters out there. We're going to meet Ariel pretty soon. We're going to get to know Tink tomorrow night. There are characters out there we'd love to do, like Rapunzel or Cruella, but, right now we're really focused on our core characters here and their journeys and the people that come into it. So hopefully, given enough time, we'll meet them all.
Yeah, we've got our list of people we want to bring into the show, and it's how you bring it in, and it's how it services the story that we're telling that makes it important. Like Ariel's a great example. That's a character we wanted to bring on from the start, and we finally got to the place where it felt right and it was the right place to do it. And it's just a few more weeks from now.
Back to this side?
Hi.
Hi.
It's hot. I have a question about Henry's birth scene. What was the decision behind not having Emma hold him or even look at him?
Do you want me to answer? Or do you
Yeah,
guys
well,
answer that?
we know it, but you played it, so.
Yeah.
I felt like when I read the script that they were right to have written it that way, because Emma is not in a situation where she wants to not raise her child. She actually believes that she can't. I mean, she's in prison and believes that this would be a terrible situation, and she really wants him to have the best life possible. And she knows herself well enough to know that if she even holds him for a second, she will keep him for sure. And if she looks at him for a second, she will keep him for sure. I actually feel like crying thinking about it.
Me too.
And so the only way she could be strong enough to do what she believed was right was to not look at him or touch him.
And, you know, for us, we really wanted to show that emotion and cut to the determined Emma we saw on the ship, who is going to get her son no matter what.
And it really was, it was a very conscious decision to start the season this way because it's a huge part of Emma's journey as a character this year.
And absolutely.
And we are going to see Regina's actual adoption of Henry soon.
Yes, coming up, we are going to show how and why Regina adopted Henry.
Yeah.
Back to this side.
Hello. Thank
Hi.
you guys for coming, and thank you, Jennifer Morrison, for bringing your presence here. I've been a huge fan of yours.
Jen Morrison, everyone.
I've been a fan of you since Cameron, so thank you so much for coming. My question is, will we ever see Emma in a fairy tale outfit? Because I cosplay Emma, and I want to have a fancy dress, and not just
Oh, I
tank top.
see, I see. Well, I feel like we should have her in a fairy tale outfit so she can wear a fancy dress.
Yes, please. No more tank tops.
I think all of us want to see Emma in a ball gown, and so I think part of her journey is finding her way to it.
Ooh, thank you so much.
Not all of us, you know, fit the dress right away.
All right, let's try and squeeze in two more. Going back over here.
Hi, yeah, Jennifer Morrison, you said something really great about watching this show and finding yourself in it and identifying yourself in these characters, but as a queer woman, I don't have that. Something so great about Once Upon a Time is how these fairy tales are twisted and innovated, and you have different people in different stories interacting, so is there any chance of queer representation on this show?
Oh,
Especially with the talk of shipping, like Aurora and Mulan, like, I'm all about that, so.
I think you should keep watching. Listen, we're starting from fairy tales that have already been written, you know, they're starting from fairy tales that were already written. And it takes time to evolve them, and it takes time for the mashups that they're doing to continue to grow and evolve. And so what I can say to you genuinely is I think you should keep watching because I think you will see what you want to see.
I think, you know, our show is about love, and it's about earning love and finding love, and love is complicated. And so, you know, for us, we want to try and represent the real emotion, even though we're in a fantastical world.
And we want to represent love in every form.
Every form.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Let's go back to this side.
Hi. In the clip we just saw for Once Upon a Time, was that Thor hammer in Mr. Gold's closet?
I can't
I'm
I
sorry.
couldn't understand what you said.
Is that what?
Was that Thor's hammer in Mr. Gold's closet?
You know, Rumpel collects so many things that, I gotta be honest, it probably was. Don't tell Marvel.
I think if you zoom in on the hammer, it says watch S.H.I.E.L.D. Tuesdays at 8.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Somebody brought up Ariel earlier. Super excited that we saw that. Are we going to see a glimpse of a certain fabulous sea witch that goes along with that?
You mean Ursula?
Ursula?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would be very disappointed, but the question is, who is she?
Yes. Yeah. But yes, you will see Ursula and see our twist on that tale.
Yes, you will see our twist on who is Ursula.
Awesome. Thank you.
You guys want to make a closing statement, everybody?
We just want to thank you all for your support. It is fantastic that we are in season 3.
Thank you
We are
all.
so excited about this. Keep watching. Keep watching live.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you
everyone.
for coming.